Чувствуете запах приближающегося финала? Я да.
There. Bad time to come a-visiting, my friend. This is interim territory now. Just as soon as we've purged it of guild rats. Nothing personal.
Да, я считаю это ошибкой.
So the guild comes out on top. Sometimes 9 fingers are all you need, eh? What are you having?
Victor isn't himself, so I'm running the shop. You buying or selling? Sometimes stuff we sell comes back around to us again. So watch yourself. Got me?
Come on then, Stone Lord. If you mean to take my chair, you'll get no better chance than this.
Minsk has no interest in your furniture, Nine Fingers. Only in the wicked rump that fills it.
What?
You have been a stone in this city's boot for too long. And it will be no Stone Lord who reaches twixt Baldur and sticky toes to dislodge you. It will be Minsk!
I haven't got the slightest idea what he's trying to say. A bizarre tale. But it fits this idiot, somehow. But if he's back to himself... Good. I'd rather you die as Minsk, the mad Rashimar. It's silly, but... Do you know? You were something of a hero of mine when I was young.
Even now, your tongue twists the truth. When you were young and 10-fingered still, Minsk and Boo were stone, instatuated on a city square.
Aye. I remember the spot. By a garden on the Wide. A soft thicket near the market, with ample pockets to pick. Celestia itself to a street rat looking for shelter. You might not have been wrestling monsters, but you kept the wind and the rain off. Heroic enough for me.
Bah! You tried to dampen Boo's eyes. Do not think you will be spared his teeth. Evil is evil, even if it was once innocent.
Oh, I'm no innocent. But evil? Will you tell me? With the fist, the watch, and the council itself all licking the Absolute's boots, who's the only one left standing to protect Baldur's Gate? Heroes come and go, but the Guild has always been here protecting the city, until the Stone Lord came to break us.
I am shamed. Nadeshka. Unworthy to fight alongside my friends. Boo. What am I to do?
I can't speak for your rodent, but I know something of debts. If you reckon you've got one to repay, well, we could always work together.
With you? Pfft. Minsk has no lust for gold. That he would shake grandmothers by their ankles or set Boo nibbling at their purse strings.
I'm not talking about that. We've both got bigger enemies than one another. The city's enemies. And Tyr's honest truth, you gave my guild the wake-up call it needed. We've grown complacent, lazy, too sure of our standing. We never would have needed the Zent if we'd had a fighting force of our own. Swords for the city when the Watch and the Fist fail us.
Like a berserker lodge of my homeland. No army or militia serving the local lords, but heroes working for the common good.
Heroes. Sure.
Very well. Minsk and Boo accept.
I'm sorry, you what?
Boo and I will be your berserker lodge, taking the ugly ways of your guild and beating them into a more virtuous shape.
That's not even slightly what I was saying. I wasn't asking.
You are right. I have proven myself unworthy. I cannot serve this city if I was so easily turned against it. If I do not know my own mind, perhaps I no longer know what is good. Boo!
Boo.
Boo! Kingpin Boo! My friend, your wisdom is vast and unknowable as the Rashimi High Country. What say you, Boo? When the Absolute is slain, shall we join Nine Fingers Keen and show her the ways of goodness?
Oh, can't we just go back to killing one another instead? All right, fine. Let's leave this particular fight for when the actual war is won, shall we? With the Stone Lord off my back, I'll be able to bring my people out of hiding. Cobble together a force, so we're ready when you call on us. You have my thanks. Though, I'm still not actually sure you haven't made my life that little bit harder.
Jahira! Boo is trying his best to explain, but I still do not understand your anger.
Do not hide behind your hamster, Ranger. You do not understand because you do not listen. We were the first to discover the cult. And if you had only waited, we might have marshaled our numbers and...
Good does not wait for evil to button up its breeches. When it offers buttocks for the smacking, Minsk and Boo greet cheek with hand. It is well that Boo's innocent ears still ring from all this shouting.
This mess falls on our heads, Minsk. The city under siege, its people poisoned by the cult. It all might have been avoided if you had just put your feelings aside and listened. I've seen too much to believe destiny has taken our side. Blind luck, perhaps. The point remains. You meant well, Minsk. But you exposed the city to harm. You helped the cult spread. And worse, perhaps than any of this, you forced me to leave you behind.
But This is where Minsk falls short of the understanding, Jahira. What else is a berserker for, if not to charge into danger ahead of his Waklarin?
Wiklarin? Minsk, I am not your witch. You are not my bodyguard. This is not some high lodge of your homeland.
Boo agrees you're a queer kind of witch. But this city is a queer place. And Minsk, you may have noticed, is sometimes strange himself. The titles matter not. Only this. When Minsk does as Minsk does, and charges in to make a mess, Jahira does as Jahira does, and finds a way to save us all anyway.
Oh, I fight alongside fools.
You hear that, Boo? We fight alongside a Waklarin again.
I am your friend, Ranger. I am not your witch. There will be no ointments or healing balms.
Not even for Boo? My friend. Now we have settled the matter of the guild. I fear there is something I must tell you. You and Boo both. It may shock you both to know, but Minsk and this Stone Lord, they are one man. The same one man.
Не может быть.
And that same one man is Minsk. Please, my friend. Your noble tears will not make the confessing any easier. I wish to believe the Stone Lord's evil was the worm alone, tainting my thoughts with foul dung. But I see now, the dung was within Minsk all along. So I wonder, if Minsk can be a villain, and Nine Fingers a hero, must it be so with all creatures? Is there good and evil within us all? Boo calls this nonsense. Less thinking of bad thoughts, says he, and more breaking of bad bones. But still, I would hear what you have to say on the matter, my friend. I see. In the case of Nine Fingers, perhaps it was all bunched up in that finger she lost. It shall be for Minsk and Boo to be her virtuous pinky. It is strange. A worm sits within my skull, twisting my thoughts. But it is you that have made Minsk see the world anew. You, my friend, are the true parasite. There is good and
Спасибо.
evil in all. Let us go crack villainous skulls, so that the virtue might leak free. Yes, Boo. I am becoming something of a philosophizer.
Minsk is so amazing!
Hardly the noblest conflict we've encountered, but criminals will have their squabbles, even in the looming shadow of utter annihilation.
I don't like getting caught between the guild and the Zentarim. You always make enemies when you take sides in a struggle like that. And in this case, they're enemies we might not see coming until it's too late.
It is splendid to see you again, my friend. If you hadn't saved me from that mob, I'd be penning a guide to the afterlife based on first-hand experience. Perhaps you would hazard a guess as to why the mob turned on me? Nonsense! It is my dedication to truth that endangers my well-being, and I have uncovered the most startling truth imaginable. The Lord of Murder has returned. As he did 100 years ago, Baal has set his accursed sights on Baldur's Gate. And his temple runs red with the blood of the innocent. Oren is his chosen. And like Sarevok before her, she is able to take on the savage form of the Slayer. If the Slayer is not stopped, it will slaughter every living thing in this city. As one of those things, I'm particularly eager to stop it. And there is a way. I have a study of the beast, penned by the wizard Irenicus himself. It contains all of the knowledge needed to slay the Slayer. Now I just need a brave adventurer, willing to face Baal's chosen, and to put the knowledge into practice.
У тебя какие-то old news.
You triumphed over Baal's chosen? Marvelous! Such a historic deed must be documented in every gory detail. You and I shall pen the book of your experiences together. But I suppose you'll have to deal with the Illithids first. Please do tell me when you've thwarted every apocalypse that's currently in motion.
Doesn't look like anyone's been here in a while. Perhaps people lost faith. Or forgot about it. I wanted to come here to see if I felt anything that I hadn't done before. Now that I know what I know. Now that I know who I am. Loss. Actual loss, not Shah's oblivion. I had my family. For too short a moment. Now they're gone. By my hand. But why does freedom have to feel like I've lost everything? Perhaps I could have saved them. Or perhaps Shah would have helped me forget them. Instead, I've neither. It's been a long time since I've shed a tear. I don't even know how long. We carry on. It's all we can do. I'll follow in a while. I think I want to stay here a little longer, firstly. This place isn't familiar, but it's peaceful. Shadowheart. She's as much a part of who I am as Jennifer. Can't just forget her. It's not what I do anymore. Besides, Shadowheart still suits me. Even better than before, perhaps. You can't cast a shadow without some light.
You're so adorable when you're thinking what to say. I was just wondering when you'd invite me back for a bite. Well, now's as good a time as any. Can't get enough. I'm not surprised. You are perfect. Every time.
Bruh.
Любовь! Любовь, суки! Любовь!
Nothing special, of course. You're only the first person who I truly care for.
Ульена вернулась, нифига себе.
I brought my own paring knife. Now I just need some ingredients, and I'm gonna make something really good, I promise.
Make sure you are refreshed before we set out again, friend. The road to justice is paved with kicked buttocks. It is a phrase in the old tongue of Rashiman, meaning blunt blade. Even in the very belly of their battle rage, a berserker must always know friend from foe. A berserker who cannot must into battle with a blunted sword, so that their rage might harm none but themselves. Boo and I, we thank you for your kind words, my friend. But Minsk knows when he has made a mess that is for him and him alone to clean. But still, I will strive to be worthy of this faith you show in me. After all, even a blunt blade can break some bones, is it not so?
Yes, yes. On my way. Have you met my huntsman? Stand aside, evil. Let's get something over there.
Let's get in. Two.
In the Dread Lord's name.
Hey-ho. On it.
Watch your back. Simple.
Arabella seems not to notice you as you approach. She's as intent on examining a peculiar stone as she is unbothered by the corpses littered on the ground.
Arabella!
Hey! I had a feeling you'd show up. It's sort of our thing, like it's fate or something. Check out the stone. It's magic. Incredible, right?
The stone buzzes with unfamiliar magic.
Oh, you can't see it? I can. And it's wonderful. I can't describe it. You'd have to see it for yourself. Bandits came at me with daggers. They didn't know who they were messing with. Yep, and I like it that way. Bone Man told me to follow the weave, to let it guide me. I've learnt a lot thanks to him, and I'm still learning. Don't worry about me, I'll be just fine. I'll see you soon enough. Bone Man said so.
Hello.
Keep it a style. Try and touch.
What next? Can't sit down.
Who says what?
Let's move. Ready. A friendly face at last. Are you going to the party as well?
Вечеринки — это то, что я люблю.
I know. Bit strange, isn't it? But then you have to be open to trying new things. The venue's called The Palace. Not sure what it stands for, but it sounds very exclusive. My date's supposed to meet me here, but there's no sign of him. You haven't seen him, have you? Pale, skinny, extremely piercing eyes. Looks a bit like your friend here.
Oh dear. I assure you, it's not.
It's funny. He was ever so keen for me to come. He didn't seem the type to cancel. Now that you mention it, he didn't eat much at dinner last night. Didn't eat anything at all, just pushed the food around his plate. I know the mermaid's food is an acquired taste, but you'd think he'd at least have tried it. I bet he was nervous. He seemed really keen. He was so enthusiastic. I don't understand why he hasn't shown up.
У меня для тебя плохие новости.
A vampire?
Или хорошие.
He wasn't. Was he? But then, why am I still here? He could have had me by the neck any time he liked.
Mother, may I? I'm positively starved.
Так, ты сейчас получишь.
He did seem quite interested in my collarbones. I thought that was just his thing, if you catch my drift.
You have no idea.
You know what? I might give this party a miss. Plenty more fish in the Chionthar, as they say. If you see him, don't tell him I was here. Just tell him I wasn't ready to be in a relationship. I'm sure he'll understand.
Looking perfect as always, I assume. Yes. Still nothing. Very well then. Subtle steps.
А, вот оно что. Так, ну-ка, пойдем-ка.
Soldier?
А все что ли? Больше ничего нету? Я думал, тут контент какой-то интересный. А тут просто эпический мечик лежит.
Of course you came back. I never doubted you would.
I'd like to try doing things like this again. Now I'm free to find my own desires. And don't worry, I'll dart out if I don't enjoy it, faster than I used to run from the sun.
Браво! По-мужски! Просто охуенно! Уебок!
Charming. For being a friend who helped Amira, we will charge a little less. Let's go. This is thrilling.
Do it! Just do it!
Quite the merry little party we have assembled here. Shall we? I hope you're not afraid of the dark, my darling. I must snuff out the lights before we begin. It's all part of the experience. The room is bathed in total darkness, so there is nothing to distract from your ecstasy.
Камеру вырубай, блядь, мудила, блядь.
The lady, Nim, moves your hand to where the clasps of her blouse lie.
All right, sweethearts. You dare to dance with a professional, you'll get your desire.
His skin is like lustered pearls, almost translucent and so delicately smooth.
He's so perfect. It could move even the toughest soul to tears.
It's so easy to see why that body alone ruined so many lives.
You're looking at me rather curiously. Speak up. Tell us what you want to do. I wish to drink and to be drunk.
For this, I feel we should be paying you.
Astarion lavishes attentions on everyone present with flawless technique, unfazed. It's all pure instinct, but when you meet his eye for a moment, there's a look about him that reveals he's a million realms away.
Give me a moment, for pity's sake. You've exhausted me already.
We recover quickly, but not that quickly. Even in the best of times, it's an oasis of pleasure and calm. In the city's chaos, with Baldur's Gate preparing for war, the caress feels like the final flicker of a beautiful flame before darkness falls.
Tell me you took the devil's deal. Tell me you will free Gith's heir.
So quick to share it with him. This is not wise.
The Prince of the Comet is not dead. The Prince of the Comet will come again. The Prince of the Comet will liberate us from the Lich Queen's tyranny. Can it be? Will the mighty Prince Orpheus soon illuminate the astral plane? Among the Githyanki, one gift is esteemed above all others. The Silver Sword. Take it. Wield it in honor of Gith, the great liberator, and her unforgotten son. Istik, now that you have the hammer, you must find a way to enter the astral prism. Once inside, smash Orpheus's bonds. His cry will shake the plains, and I will fly to your aid. The Prince of the Comet will sear the heavens again. Let the Lich Queen tremble.
Think again. I will not permit your entry.
Но вообще, честно говоря, я не знаю, что делать в этой ситуации. Я стырила молот, потому что, мне захотелось что-то стырить у Рафаила, но я не планирую кидать Императора. Хотя, в принципе, Лаизель помочь хочется. Эта королева мне тоже не очень нравится. И тут как-то мы оказались в такой ситуации, когда мы просто, типа, обязаны его кинуть. Или, может, его переубедить?
No, there is not.
Questions, Istik? You seem to be lost in thought. The Prince of the Comet aches for Githyanki liberation more than he abhors Geich. He might seethe when you free him. He might gnash his teeth and slander your name. But he will see reason. I promise you. Yes, but you will meet this challenge, as you've met so many others.
Уху, легендарный меч. Надо доделать, короче, задание, потому что мы уже медленно движемся к концу. Вообще я начала делать квест Карлах, но как-то вот так получилось, что я уплыла в сторону. Но это Baldurs Gate.
Looks familiar. Does this cat belong to Gale?
You notice the Tressym guards a shiny ring and stack of letters at its feet. She startles, and you miss the ring. She flies away before you can make a second attempt.
Отдай сало!
Looks like we're opening back up to the refugees. No rest for the wicked.
Don't suppose you've, stumbled across those letters yet? You read it? Technically, that's interfering with someone else's property. I should report you to the nearest manip. Tell you what. Give it here, and we'll say no more about it. I'll give you a nice little bonus as well, a finder's fee. What do you say? Fine. Just give me the letter. Forget you saw anything. This never happened.
Swift as my feet can carry me. Look at the teeny footprints. Always room for more. I want to have a word.
The boss is expecting you. Hasn't forgotten what you did for him at Moonrise.
Look, unless you're an expert in steel watcher gyroscopics, please get out of my light. It stopped, but it'll happen again. It keeps happening. The shivering, shaking, quaking. Don't you feel it? No. The stone, it wouldn't... Something is hurting it. Everything is going to crumble and fall away. We'll be dust. I want to go home.
You think I want my clan facing down one of those walking death machines with cutlery? Then leave me to my work. Only if you're quick. Now let me get back to it.
I shouldn't say anything to you until you've spoken to Auburn. He's very... particular.
Good to see you. Wasn't sure you'd make it to the city. Regretting it yet? I spent a lot of time thinking of worst-case scenarios while I was locked in that cell you plucked me out of at Moonrise. I didn't imagine anything as bad as this. The Gondians have handed Enver Gortash the means to bring about the end of liberty in Baldur's Gate. And the citizens have rolled out the red carpet for the new tyrant. Resistance fighters are few and far between. My iron hands, what's left of the Harpers, and you, I hope. As long as our objective is the same, the reason doesn't matter to me. We have a common enemy. But neither of us gets what we want until we deal with our biggest obstacle. The Steel Watch. They're a threat to you, me, and every man, woman, and child in this city. They act all civilized, servants of the people, but they only serve one man. When he becomes Grand Duke, it will only get worse. Laws will change, freedoms will vanish, and soon you'll be accused and sentenced before you've even committed a crime. And the fucking Gondians are to blame for all of it. They invented the Steel Watchers, and they're building an army of them. They've always been happy to provide their technology to despots in exchange for a stipend and the freedom to work in peace. They would have licked Saravok's boots, given the chance. And now they'll kiss Gortash's ring while this city screams. I had a plan to put a stop to them. But the way things are now, if we stick our heads above ground, the Watchers are on us like flies on shit. Same as it always is. Eliminate the threat. In this case, the foundry where these atrocities are produced. The Gondians are ingenious, but we're more than equal to them. There's nothing they can build that the Iron Hands can't tear down. I've built something unique for just that purpose. A room powder bomb. First of its kind. 50 wizards high on the weave couldn't summon this kind of firepower. Get the bomb inside the Gondian facility, and boom. Problem solved. Ha! I knew you were the practical sort. That's why we get along. The foundry is in the lower city, down by the docks. Beautiful building, belching smoke into the sky day and night. Getting inside won't be easy, but when you do, place the bomb at the heart of the facility. Get yourself back to street level. The streets will be clear of Watchers in no time.
Хорош. Как это мы удачно зашли.
Cursed, put my hands on everything. Locked.
It's locked, all right.
But there's no keyhole. Must be a switch or something nearby. There's blood here, not yet dried. And no sign of the smith.
Они убили того кузнеца, который в ворень превращался.
Жаль, конечно, этого добряка.
God's damned hypocrites! The blade of frontiers, all pomp and empty oaths. The sword coast's most dashing fraud. You are either a fool for trusting him, or a wretch for conspiring with him. Doesn't matter which. Lady Mizora told me everything. How Will slaughtered his own father. How he craves his power. How he means to make the city bow to him and him alone. This city holds no place for you, or for Raven Guard's treacherous spawn.
You remember the stories of Elturel's fall. The city was dragged into the hells at Zariel's behest, and Ravengard along with it.
At ease. By the living gods, I believe you. What darkness has fallen upon us? There's something you must know. I should have told Will sooner, but I'd hoped somehow Ravengard would return to us. He knew about the Absolute. I thought little of it at first, but he realized the danger before anyone else did. He understood that if the cult were successful in raising an army, Baldur's Gate would be doomed. Before the Absolutists abducted him, he told me that should he fall, I should seek Will out and give him a message. Will was schooled in the ways of the great champions. He is to use those lessons to wake the worm sleeping beneath Baldur's Gate. The worm is oath-bound to answer the call and come to the city's aid. A bronze dragon, yes. He sleeps beneath us even now, awaiting a hero to rouse him. The worm goes by many names. Ansur, the waiting storm, the heart of the gate. He promised Balduran he'd protect the city if ever its existence was threatened. But just the once. The city has faced countless threats. But Ravengard knew it could not survive the absolute slaughter. With him gone and the city near ruin, the worm's awakening now falls to you and Will. The Duke gave me this. The legend of Ansur, an ancient epic, ill-remembered, dismissed as a mere tale. Let it set the path before you, or do not, and see Baldur's Gate burn to ash. Thank you. In darkness, I see your light. I should go. I know of still others that might help us when the battle horns call. Unleash the worm. Let its tempest swallow the Absolute and its allies. And may they be driven forever from the coast.
Follow the easy path.
You are asking the impossible. Gyrometics require a steady hand and a sharp gaze. I can barely keep my eyes open. I need to rest.
You have a son, do you not? Is he as lazy and pathetic as his spineless mother?
Wait! Stay your hand, I beg you.
Prinsky's motivation sequence activated.
Tell me, Gondian. Tell me about your son.
He's not... Yes, Overseer Holt. He's frail in body and mind like me, like all of us. Yet by your grace, he lives.
And your wife?
She is... was useless and interfered with production quotas. You were wise to remove her from this world. Forgive my outburst. I will work through the night. This Watcher will be operational by dawn.
I will allow it. But if your work is anything short of impeccable, your son will die screaming. Is that clear?
Yes. Overseer Holtz.
He's seen everything. I'll give it a shot.
Your nervous gait betrays your presence, stranger. You don't belong here. Who are you? To the tyrants who collared me like a dog and took my daughter? No, I think not. But I do have to inform them. Your very presence here imperils us all. The Overseers, they have a contraption. When triggered, it will kill everyone who wears a collar. You underestimate the enemy. The Overseers, they are Glixbrand Rakthar. The collars are not only equipped with explosives, there is also a mechanism that alerts the Overseers if they're removed. One of us may be able to save themselves, but it would be at the expense of everyone else. We can't risk it. Even if we did somehow unshackle our collars simultaneously and overthrow our oppressors, there would be consequences. Our families are held elsewhere. The Overseers need only activate those contraptions they hold, and they suffer the consequences of our actions too. We cannot win. We must aid in building these Vakron. Gunkal. Aye. Even more, I'd help you destroy this place. Rune powder. Did Wulbren send you? Look, Wulbren is no friend of the Gondians. He's a piece of Frankfol. I don't know what poison he put in your mind, but we are good people in a bad place. Help us, and I promise we'll help you. You won't need something as drastic as rune powder to bring this place down. I know a way. I don't know where they are, but some of the Overseers must. You'll have to infiltrate deeper into the foundry. Just make sure you don't get caught. If they raise the alarm, they'll trigger the collars. I will pray for you. My daughter, her name is Obinia. Gondral Frakas Hulnish. May Gond be with you.
Scared and miserable, with visible cuts and bruises, these people can only be one thing. Prison.